Hello, my name is Isabella, and today I will be sharing my top 5 feel-good movies to watch. Yeah, it's just you always get in one of those moods where you just need to watch a feel-good movie. So we're gonna kick it off with Center Stage. So this movie, I have it on VHS, and I've had it for like a very long time. So I feel like I've watched this movie like 40, 50 times. I don't even know. I've watched this movie repeatedly. This movie, it's just so good. I think also like that nostalgia factor kicks in, which makes it like another bonus level of good. So it's about a group of ballet students basically, and what it takes to make it in the ballerina world. It starts off with Cosmic Girl, and every single song in their soundtrack is like a banger. Like whoever chose the songs for this movie, I'm like, make a Spotify playlist and send it to me for Rex. As soon as Cosmic Girl starts playing, it's like, yes, we are in for a treat. The movie's beginning. It starts off with just like random ballerinas just walking their way through the city. And as you see these ballerinas, like as a young girl watching, it's just like, wow, stars in your eyes. They're just so like elegant and graceful in these crowded places, like coming off the bus, like walking down the street. It's like, do I want to be a ballerina? Should I be a ballerina? As you're watching it, then hi. I feel like it has very iconic scenes like of their dancing. And also with this movie, with my dad, I feel like he constantly quotes this movie at me. This one particular scene where the best student of the class, like she has the best technique, but she literally hates it. She hates ballet. And she has this confrontation with her mom. Upon rewatching this yesterday, I teared up a little bit at this confrontation. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Because I don't want to be a ballet dancer. Yes, you do. You always have. No, Mom. If this were what I wanted, I wouldn't be as unhappy as I've been. I'd have friends. I'd sleep well. I wouldn't throw up half the things that I eat.
And she says this really famous line like,
this is your dream. Maureen, you don't just throw away your dream. It's your dream.
And the line that my dad quotes at me all the time is like,
I mean, you didn't have the feet. I don't have the heart.
You didn't have the feet. And I don't have the heart. Anyways, so yeah, it's just like a very common scene that we see. Like they have this scene in A Cinderella Story too, as Austin Ames runs off the field and his dad is like, where are you going? Maybe I'll play a clip if I find that.
What? You're throwing away your dream. No, Dad. Throwing away yours.
I think the acting itself, like everything, it's a little on the cheesy side. It's a little on the like basic, some cliches here and there. But overall, it's like, it just makes you feel good watching it. Like, feed it to me. I want to watch it. I want to hear every single song come on. It's so good. Yes. Moving on to the second movie that I recommend. It's called Little Forest. This movie is for the battered, the world-weary souls out there that's working their like 9-to-5 jobs, working overtime, everything sucks. You get home, you're like tired. The biggest battle is, do I eat, do I sleep, or do I take a shower? And like, can I do these 3 things at the same time? Working force life, like this movie is for you. It is very boring. I want to preface by saying, like, if you're watching this for the storyline or for the plot, it's like basically non-existent. Like the storyline is like, But if you're watching this for like comfort to the soul, then yes. The movie is about a girl and she's living in the city. She's like studying, she's like working part-time at the convenience store.
답답하기는 마찬가지였고 인스턴트 음식은 나의 허기를 채우기엔 부족했다.
She's eating instant food all the time, like it's not satisfying for her. One day she's just like, forget this, and then she gives it all up and she moves back to her countryside home and she just lives in the country. Farming status, all that. I think we've all had these moments where it's like, yes, I'm just gonna go be a goat herd. Stop this job. She makes a lot of food in this movie. Everything she makes like from scratch. It's like cooking ASMR basically. Every single dish, dessert that she makes looks so delicious. Like, please, I want to hire you as my personal chef. It's just a very like simplistic lifestyle. Like sometimes, you know, you just get the craving for that. It is another day. 5 movies is a lot. I did not anticipate it taking so long, but I'm committed to this, okay? I detailed 5 feel-good movies, so I'm gonna have 5 feel-good movies in this video. Moving on to my 3rd feel-good movie. It's a Studio Ghibli movie, and I think almost every Studio Ghibli movie could be classified as feels good. But my top favorite Studio Ghibli movie is Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, I just really like it. I'm just gonna say that about each of the movies. I just really like it. So it's about a girl named Sophie. She gets cursed by a witch, which turns her into an old grandma. I really like how they emphasize the difficulty of old age. It's hard to walk around, you don't want to move. Relatable. I like the magical feels of it. It's drawn so well. The art is so good. The food looks so delicious. And the nature is like, I feel like all Studio Ghibli movies, like the nature aspect of it is like always really good. Like the art, how they draw is like la 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 la. So anyways, back to the main character. She gets cursed, so she decides to go on a hike, and she runs into like the rundown, shamshad version of Howl's Moving Castle. Like when you think of castle, you think a certain image, but it's not. It's just this beaten up, junky metal contraption that like walks around, which I love. I love that. So she gets in there and it is a mess. Howl is the one who owns this castle, and he himself is a mess. He just kind of like sits back and just looks beautiful. That's his main priority in life, to just sit around and look beautiful, which I think is like quite a relatable feel as well. He and Sophie both help each other grow. Like Sophie gets Howl to think about responsibilities and priorities in life, doing the thing, and then Howl gets Sophie to think, you are beautiful and lovely and wonderful and powerful and you should own it. It's just a really beautiful movie. Everyone's doing growth, character growth everywhere. Even the villain gets a character growth. No one is exempt. I think everyone should watch this movie. I think it is the best Studio Ghibli movie. Don't come at me. The 4th movie that I would like to recommend is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. I had to look at it because the title is so long, you know, I mix it up sometimes. It stars Cara Delevingne and Dane DeHaan. I hope I'm not butchering their names, but they're such beautiful people. I think they're really beautiful. I think Dane DeHaan has like a very mysterious aura, but yes, I think they're such beautiful people, and isn't that why we go watch movies? That reminds me of this thing I saw on Tumblr. I'll see if I can find it and insert here. And yes, I'm slightly ashamed to admit that I still use Tumblr. So the story is about these two government officials. They're just doing what they can to save the universe. And you see all different sort of sights. It's very glamorous and magical, and you enter into like a completely fantastical world of like aliens and the galaxy. I think the CGI is pretty good in my opinion. I mean, it's not like Avengers level type thing, but like I'm sold. I'm immersed in this world. So Rihanna has this scene where she's like this shape-shifting alien. I think this is like for one of those moods when you're tired of Earth, you kind of want to dive into like a different reality. You just see these two people saving the universe, like fighting their way through. The teamwork is really great. I think this is a perfect feel-good movie to watch when you're just in the mood to watch some people go kick some butt and, you know, defeat the bad guys and win the day. The fifth movie that I have, oh, look at these hair stains. Lovely. Megamind. Megamind is so good. I highly recommend. Like, I did this poll asking my friends, like, who has watched Megamind? Have you guys watched Megamind? Surprisingly, quite a few have not watched Megamind, but most people like know what it is. Okay, I can kind of understand. Like, you see the cover of the movie, it's like this big blue head alien guy, and you look at it and you're like, okay, it looks kind of lame. I don't want to watch it. But you're wrong. It is not lame. I think this movie, there's just so many like witty quips throughout the movie. Like as you go, like every line that Megamind delivers is like hilarious or witty or smart. Like I'm like, brilliant. So basically he's the supervillain of the story, and he fully takes on that role. Like he designs really elaborate fights between him and the hero, and then during one fight suddenly he wins.
You did it, sir. I did it. He did it. I did it. He did it. You did it, sir. I did it. He did it. I did it. Atrocity is back.
And everyone's shook, like the villain is not supposed to win. And he goes through like kind of like an identity crisis. Who am I as a villain without the hero counterpart to fight me? I have no purpose in life. I don't know, I think that's just so funny, like an added twist of reality into like a trope that we're all familiar with, like the superhero and the super villain trope. We have a supervillain that's stuck with an identity crisis after he defeats the hero.
Why do I feel so melancholy?
So he goes about designing a new hero to give him back his purpose in life. I just think it's such a hilarious movie. Like, I think it's very, very, very underrated, and everybody should be watching Megamind, and everybody should be able to quote all the lines, and yes, I really like him as a character. He's very egotistical, he's kind of a drama queen, but he's also very endearing. I really like him. There's this last scene where he fights another character. I'm trying not to like drop too many spoilers, but the character is like, what's the big deal about, you know, heroes and villains? And then he goes, it's presentation. I just find that very endearing about him, that he passionately thinks through each and every single fight. He stages it. What else should I say about it? I could go on and on about this movie. Okay, the soundtrack for this movie is also super good. Hans Zimmer comes up with a song for like, if no one knew that, he is, you know, I know everybody loves Hans Zimmer, so like I feel like hearing that name should be like an immediate yes, watch it now. There's a segment that I really like where they play Mr. Blue Sky, which is such an iconic song. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant movie. Everybody should watch it. It looks lame, but it is not lame, I assure you. Go and watch it. So that concludes the 5 feel-good movies I recommend. I feel like And this video took me much longer than anticipated. I thought it would just be a simple like sitting down, me being like, ayo, 5 movies, go watch, and that's it. I did not anticipate my overly passionate self explaining each part. Like at one point I was like, should I write all this down and like actually think through what I'm saying, or should I just continue to like word vomit at the camera, like improvising as I go? Yeah, I had a really good time making this video. I love movies. Yeah, that's it. Everybody go watch. I highly recommend all these movies.